Good morning, students. This is next chapter, that is complex compounds. This is also called coordination compounds. Before going to explain the definition of complex compounds, I will discuss some points now. That is, for example, take sodium chloride. When it is present in water, it immediately undergoes complete dissociation and finally ions will be formed. They are Na plus and Cl minus. We know that very well about it. One more example, that is MgCl2. When this compound is present in water, then this compound undergoes dissociation like above compound. Then here also ions will be formed. They are Mg plus 2 plus 2Cl minus. When you take KCl compound, it also undergoes dissociation like above compounds. Then these ions will be formed. They are K plus and Cl minus. We know that about all these three when they are present in water. But when we take this type of compound, for example K4FeCN6, in water, then we get these ions, 4 potassium ions. K4 means 4 potassium ions plus FeCN6 minus 4, crisscross method. And one more example, when you take this compound CONH3 6 times Cl3, then we get CONH3 6 times plus 3 plus 3Cl minus. So what is the point here? When you take these type of compounds, these compounds completely undergoes dissociation when they are present in water. But when you take these type of compounds, they never undergo complete dissociation. This is partial dissociation. In this type of compounds, we can identify all these ions when they are present in water. But in this type of compounds, we cannot identify all the ions. Suppose in this compound, we can identify potassium ions because that is completely undergo dissociation. But we cannot identify iron ions because it is not dissociation. It is present along with the cyanides. So here in this example also, we cannot identify cobalt ions, ammonium molecules, but we can identify chloride ions because it undergoes complete dissociation. So these type of compounds are called complex compounds. Those are also called coordination compounds. So what is the definition here? In this type of compounds, we can identify all the ions. But in this type of compounds, we cannot identify all the substances. Such compounds are called complex compounds. So what is the definition? The compounds in which some of the substances loses its identity. Loses its identity means we cannot identify those substances. Is called coordination compounds or are complex compounds. I repeat once again, the compounds in which some of the substances loses its identity. Loses its identity means we cannot identify those compounds when they are present in those substances, when they are present in water. Such compounds are called complex compounds or are coordination compounds. Next, in every complex compound, see, this is complex compound, this is also complex compound. In every complex compound, metal atoms and ligands are present. In every complex compound, metal atoms and ligands are present. See, in this compound, this iron is the metal atom, not potassium. In this one, in this complex compound, this cobalt is the metal atom, and The substance which is attached to metal atom is called ligand. The substance which is attached to metal atom is called ligand. That means in this example cyanide is the ligand. In this example ammonia is ligand. So what is the point here? In every complex compound metal atoms and ligands are present. The substances which are attached with the metal atom is called ligands. So in the above example, cyanide is the metal, cyanide is the ligand, iron is the metal. In the second example, cobalt is the metal and ammonia is ligand. So what is the definition of ligand? See, an atom or ion or molecule, this is very important point, an atom or ion or molecule donates lone pair of electron to metal atom is called ligand. That means simply the substance which donates lone pair of electrons to metal atom, that substance is called ligand. That substance may be either atom or ion or molecule. Next, based on the charge of ligands, they are classified into three types. Based on charge, ligands are classified into three types. They are cationic ligands, anionic ligands, neutral ligands. Cationic ligands, anionic ligands, neutral ligands. Cationic ligands means if ligands having positive charge, that is called cationic ligands. See, NO plus, this is the example for cationic ligand. Its name is nitrosonium. Here NH2, NH3 plus, its name is hydrazinium. So these are the examples for cationic ligands. What is the meaning of cationic ligand? If the ligand possesses positive charge, that is called cationic. Then what about anionic? If the ligand possesses negative charge, that is called anionic. See, say for example Cl minus, Cn minus, SCN minus, OH minus, all these are anionic ligands. Next one, neutral ligands. Neutral ligands means it should not have any charge. For example H2O, it is not having any charge, but in H2O oxygen is the central atom, it contains lone pair, so that it can act as ligand. What is the ligand? What is the condition to exhibit ligand? If the substance having lone pair of electrons and it has ability to donate lone pair of electrons to central metal atom, then that substance is considered as ligand. If the substance not having any lone pairs, then it cannot act as ligand. We should not call it as ligand. Next, in NH3, nitrogen is the central atom, but nitrogen contains one lone pair of electrons, so that it also can act as ligand. In CO also oxygen having lone pair of electrons, so that it also can act as ligand. So these are neutral ligands. Why these are called neutral ligands? Because they do not possess any charge. Next, based on donating lone pair of electrons, they are classified into three types. Based on charge, they are classified into three types. Here, based on donating lone pair of electrons, they are again classified into three types. They are monodentate ligand. Mono means if a ligand donates only one lone pair of electrons. If a ligand donates only one lone pair of electrons, then that is called monodentate ligand. So the definition is what? The ligand which donates one lone pair of electrons to central metal atom is called monodentate ligand. For example, NH3, H2O, Cl minus, OH minus. In NH3, nitrogen having one lone pair of electrons, so that it can donate that lone pair of electron to central atom, so that it is monodentate ligand. In H2O, oxygen having two lone pairs, but oxygen can donate only one lone pair, so that it is also comes under monodentate ligand category. Cl minus means negative charge means what? Electrons. So Cl minus having lone pair of electrons, but it also can donate only one lone pair to central atom. It cannot donate more than one lone pair to central atom. In OH minus case also, O is having two lone pairs, but O can donate only one lone pair. So if a substance having large number of or more number of lone pairs, but it has ability to produce, or it has ability to give only one lone pair to central atom, then that substance is considered as monodentate ligand. Then what about bidentate? Here mono means it can donate it has to donate only one lone pair. In this case it has to donate two lone pair, then only it can be considered as bidentate. So what is the definition? The ligands which donates two lone pair of electrons to central metal atom is called bidentate ligand. For example, ethylene diamine, it is also represented by simply En. Both are same. En nothing but ethylene diamine. In complex compounds, ethylene diamine is usually represent like this En. So what is the formula? Ethylene means two carbons, amine means NH2, diamine means 2NH2. So this is the formula for ethylene diamine. But in this formula, two nitrogen atoms are there. These two nitrogens having one lone pair. Here one lone pair is present. Here also one lone pair is present. So this nitrogen can donate that lone pair to metal atom when this compound attached to metal atom. Similarly, this nitrogen also can donate its lone pair of electron to metal atom. So what is the point here? When this compound, this total compound, this ethylene diamine attached to central metal atom, then these two nitrogens donates its lone pair of electron to metal atom. Finally, donates two lone pair of electrons, so that it is considered as bidentate ligand. This is very important example for bidentate ligand. So ethylene diamine is the bidentate ligand. Next, oxalate ion C2O4 minus 2. See, this is the structure C2O4 minus 2, 2 minus 2. So this oxalate ion, this negative charges nothing but electrons. This oxygen donates these electrons to central atom. This oxygen also donates these electrons to central atom when this compound attach with the metal atom in a complex compound. So that this oxalate ion is also considered as what? Bidentate ligand. Next, polydentate ligand. Monodentate means it should donate one lone pair. Bidentate means it should donate two. Then what about polydentate? It should donate more than two. Then it will be considered as polydentate. Here polydentate ligand definition is the ligands which donates more than two lone pair of electrons to central atom. Here one lone pair of electrons. Here two lone pair of electrons. Here more than two lone pair of electrons to central atom is called polydentate ligand. See, for polydentate ligand, example is EDTA. EDTA abbreviation is ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Ethylene diamine tetraacetate. It is hexadentate ligand. That means it can donate 6 lone pair of electrons to metal atom when it is attached to central atom in a given complex compound. I will show the picture now. See, this is the structure for EDTA, ethylene diamine. Diamine means NN. Actually NH2, NH2. But those hydrogens removed by state groups CH3, COO, CH. How many state? Tetraestate means 4. So here one oxygen having negative charge. Here also one oxygen having negative charge. One oxygen having, that means 4 oxygens having negative charge. I told you already. When those substances having negative charge, then they can donate those electrons to central atom. So from 4 oxygens, 4 lone pairs can be donated. And here nitrogen, this nitrogen having one lone pair, this nitrogen having one lone pair. So finally this EDTA contains 6 donor atoms. Donor atoms means the substance which donate lone pair is considered as donor atom. So this EDTA contains finally 6 donor atoms. There are 2 nitrogens and 4 oxygens. So finally it can donate 6 lone pair of electrons, so that it acts as hexadentate ligand. Next, here one important point is there, that is, I told you this is complex compound. In this complex compound, this is called central metal atom, and the substance which attached to metal atom is called what? Ligand. Next, after square bracket, that means the substances which are present outside of the square bracket is called counter ions. Counter ions, the substances which are present outside of the square bracket is called counter ions. Next, one more point, the substances which are present in square bracket is called coordination pair. This is called coordination pair. So in every complex compound, central metal atom is there and ligands are there, but in some cases counter ions are not there. So what is counter ion? The substances which are present outside of the square bracket is called counter ion. The substances which are present in square bracket is called coordination pair.